World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
Hello, and welcome once again to another fantastic Tuesday, the last Tuesday of 2024. My name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery, and I want to thank you and welcome you to our last program of 2024. How you been doing? How's everyone's holiday season been going? How has we started off with the spooky season, then we went into the Thanksgiving season, and then we stepped into the gifting season, and now we're getting ready to wrap it up with a brand new year. I hope your life and your expectations of what 2024 was supposed to give you turned out, but if it didn't for whatever reason, let's course correct. Let's not make a New Year's resolution. Let's make a course correction. And this is what this show is all about today, a course correction, putting you back on track. Again, back on track with the things that you know you will need to be doing. And I don't understand. Well, I do. Again, I'm not going to say I don't understand. I do. I do understand. I understand it very, very near and dear to my heart why we find ourselves in these predicaments, in these circumstances and situations, because a lot of the times we're not getting the information that we truly, truly need. Now, I'm going to always say that we must own up to ours. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this show is about you. This show is about you owning up to yours. Now that you've owned up to it, what I want to do is I want to help you navigate through how do we really make it work for you? How do we? This show, and I'm hoping that the invites that I sent out, which I sent out quite a few of them, I'm hoping the individuals who I sent them out to did get them, and I hope that they will chime in. Because as I said, this is a show that's going to help you. It's going to put you back on track for 2025. We live in trillion-dollar economies, folks. We live in trillion-dollar economies. If you do not know how to make money in trillion-dollar economies, this is the show that you should be watching throughout the remainder of 2025. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on to some phenomenal, some exceptional, brilliant understandings of what you should be doing to make sure that you stay ahead of the game, that you maintain, that you build, that you continue to make the necessary adjustments as you maneuver through 2025. Now, this is going to be something, again, super easy, super simple, super short for you to be able to do. And with that being said, you're going to always have the opportunities to be the best that you can be. And this is why we do what we do. So I need to make sure that I had a couple of the situations ongoing here. I got my little YouTube set up over here. I got my Facebook set up over here. And I got my StreamYard set up over here because I'm ready for all of what we're going to be presenting to you today. And I'm hoping that you come with some questions. I'm hoping that you decide to say, hey, you know what? I got a couple of questions and I want to ask the guy a couple of questions. So again, My name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. I am now also equally the director, community director of our very own nonprofit organization called Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs, where we're going to be helping out our youth this year as well. Youth are top priority, our number one asset that we should all be looking at, making sure that our youth in marginalized communities understand their value. And then 3, building out our day trading community. And I know that's a challenging subject matter, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you, just like anything else, a skill. You want to be a baseball player, you want to be a hockey player, you want to be a soccer player, you want to change your job from nursing to auto mechanics, you want to change your job from scientist to flight attendant. Again, all of this requires skills. And the thing that you all have to walk away with and understand is that you develop your skills. Our jobs as the educators and the teachers and the coaches are just to hone in on that, what you already possess, and then help you with mastering it. That's what this is all about. 2025 is about helping you master the things that you should have. And again, we're not putting any blame on anyone. No blame. We're not even blaming the organizations that manipulate, deceive, harm, cause more disparities than anything I've ever seen. We're not going to blame them any longer. We're not going to blame ourselves because there's a 10-90 split, and it will never be even. 10 is which we own, that 90 is which they own because of all their malfeasance. But as I said, nevertheless, we're still going to do what we need to do, and this is the day that we do it. We throw away 2024 garbage because tonight is the last day for that. Tonight is the last day for that. We throw that all away, all of the mishaps, all of the mistakes, all of the failures, all of the constant doubt, all of the whatever it was that kept you from seeing financial success in 2024. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit more of a history on me. I came back to Yonkers in 2015. I am now on my 11th year back here in my hometown where I was born and raised. I traveled the world, got my education, worked for a variety of different companies, got my understandings from wherever the world and companies were sending me to go retrieve and receive that information. I am one of the most qualified, highly educated individuals in this field of study when it comes to financial literacy. I could talk about credit, I could talk about other financial avenues, but my number one thing was always credit. But I was told, hey, you know what? You need to open that up a little bit because the singular issues, as good as they are, they might not be doing it. So I said, okay, you know what? Over the 10 years, now 11 years, I did a lot of soul searching, did a lot of course correcting. I poured in an abundance of resources that I knew that when you start a business, those are the things that you're going to have to do. But I poured them in. There's been some ups and there's been some downs and there's been some ups and there's been some downs. There's been these ebbs and flows. But you know what, folks? I never gave up. I stuck with it, and I'm going to continue to keep sticking with it because I keep seeing the benefits of those smiles on those individuals' faces when they finally see that their credit is moving in an upwards trajectory. The benefits of those students when they finally see someone who understands, wow, this guy really has our back. The benefits in those individuals who are learning a new skill, who want to take it to that next level. Well, this is what 2025 is going to be all about. We're not just going to leverage your score, but we're going to leverage your financial opportunities. So get ready, folks. Get ready. This is the year where those of you who want it, and there's the key right there, want it. You want it, we got it. But we're not going to be hunting individuals down. We want you to find us. We want you because we're going to be doing this all the time. We're going to be on our Soul City network. We're going to be on our Facebook. Instagram, social media platforms. We're going to be asking those who watch the show to be sharing the show, to be making sure that their circle of friends, your network is going to increase your net worth. Think about that for a little bit. All right. So we're going to get started. We're going to jump right into the program. And the program is all about, as I said, it's about helping you, the individual, get to that next level. All right, so we're going to be breaking down some barriers. All right, and our show today is America's Final Call, Breaking Barriers to Financial Freedom and Generational Wealth. And while we wait for that to pop up on the screen, I decided to really hone in on this one. I made it so colorful and I made it as bright and vibrant as possible. But again, America's Final Call, 2024, the final call, folks. Breaking barriers to financial freedom and generational wealth. So breaking barriers, what does that mean? Has there been barriers that have kept us from a lot of the significances of financial prosperity or a life that should have not come with so many burdens? Well, yes, there has. And we're here to break those. Financial freedom. We are here to create a pathway to financial freedom, which also leads to generational wealth. Those three things are important. If we break these barriers, we create the financial freedom, generating that generational wealth. Just that simple. And it's going to take a community to do this, folks. It's going to take every single last one of us like-minded individuals to help in 2025. To help. But first and foremost, you need someone who's willing and able to speak eloquently, articulately, has the understanding of the industries to be able to help you with your understanding of what you must do as well. You do your part, we do our part. Guess who benefits? We all benefit. This is the year to make sure it happens. And I'm hoping that those of you watching today and those of you who will come back later on to watch it again, please make sure that you share this content. Share this content. It's valuable, it is necessary, and it is going to do what I already know it's going to do, which is going to help individuals finally understand it's not about spending, it's about finding avenues to make sure that your income and your wealth is growing. That's the important piece. Growth. That's what we're looking for in 2025. Growth. All right, so the lesson objectives, a 2025 call to action, empowering the working poor, middle class, marginalized, and the full-time working homeless. Those four categories, folks. Those four categories are our lesson objectives. We're going to make sure that everyone understands if you are part of one of those categories, your job is now to do what you need to do to find yourself in a much better position as we navigate the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next 9 months, the next 12 months. Your job, if you do your part with our assistance, I'm telling you, with what we already know, with how we have aligned ourselves strategically to make sure that those of you who want what you need, which is to be able to find that financial freedom. Financial freedom first, then it comes to generational wealth. Financial freedom first, then comes to generational wealth. But there are a couple of steps that you have to take before you even get to that financial freedom piece. But those are the categories that we definitely want to be making sure that we are addressing. That's 70% of the population right there, folks. The working poor, the middle class. In the middle class, we already know that's an ever eroding middle class. The marginalized, okay? Those who have unfortunately sold their souls to an individual who's going to be taking office in about 20 days now. And what do you think it's going to turn out? How do you think it's going to turn out? Well, I can tell you right now, rich folks created another category for themselves, and it's called uber wealthy. So if they're still adding more categories to their Bottom line, do you really think that you are part of that? I'm sad to have to sell it to you, folks. It's not going to happen that way. So you're going to have to do more. Federal government has already told you what you're worth. Your state has already told you what you're worth. Your employer has already told you what you're worth. The question is, have you told yourself what you're worth? Have you? Have you really understood the value that you bring to the table? Well, I hope today's show and the ongoing shows of 2025 will position you in that type of an understanding. All right, so as I said, we're going to be empowering the middle class, the ever-eroding middle class. We're going to be empowering the working poor. Working poor. Think about these terms that we're using right now. The ever-eroding middle class, the middle class that built this nation, ever-eroding. The working poor, that means you're working to remain poor. Think about that for a second, folks. Think about that. The empowering the full-time working homeless, individuals who do not even possess an actual physical address, but they're full-time employees. And last but not least, empowering the marginalized. We're going to constantly keep making sure that these four groups have what they need. And I'm calling on all citizens. I'm calling on elected officials. I'm calling on our regular business professionals. I'm calling on our philanthropists. I'm calling on other nonprofit organizations, academia. I'm calling on everyone who can hear my voice. Let's lift these four groups to heights that they have never thought possible and watch what we can do for our generation. The next generation. And tomorrow, a new generation pops up. Yes, the Alpha generation. So welcome, Alphas. Welcome to the world. All right, so the crises we face, generational wealth erosion, the silent epidemic. Lord, I mean, I'm always taken back every time I do a show that hones in on the importance of making sure that we know why things have happened. Income inequality, economic inequality, the poverty gap. I mean, there are so many things that have created the barriers that we constantly deal with, but yet we have not really honed in on where and how did this even come about. Well, I can tell you right now, financial literacy. That's the new direction. Financial literacy. We may touch on a couple of subject matters here and there, like credit. We may talk about the entities that are supposed to be protecting us, like the CFPB, like the FTC, CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protections Bureau, the FTC, which is the Fair Trade Commission, the Attorney Generals. But we're finding out that, again, those that we have elected or those that were appointed or those that are to oversee our overall well-being, well, there's been a lot of, shall we say, conflicts of interest in those spaces. So it's really important that we understand that this is a silent epidemic and we have to do more to eradicate this. So the introductions. Trillions in generational wealth have been lost due to systemic failure. Trillions. Trillions trickle up, trillions do not trickle down. All right. So that whole trickle down economics that we're getting ready to find ourselves back in, because as I said, in 20 days, a new individual is going to be occupying that White House. And guess what they are going to be doing? They're going to be staffing that White House with millionaires and billionaires. Okay. So if you think for a second that millionaires and billionaires are going to find a soul or find a heart and then finally say, and remember, I told you there's a new category out there and they're called the uber wealthy. So if you think they're going to find a soul and a heart and all of a sudden they say, hey, you know what? Yeah, for the last 50, 60, 70, 100 years, we have been treating our marginalized, our working poor, our ever-eroding middle class, our full-time working homeless. We have been treating them less than. So we're now all of a sudden we're going to decide to do more for them? Come on, folks. Really? I got a bridge in the backyard that I want to sell you too, if you believe that. All right, decades of greed, corruption, and policy manipulation have deepened inequality. Greed. We are the greediest nation on the face of the planet. Yes, Not all of us live and function and focus and desire greed, but unfortunately, it's rampant. It is rampant. Rich are trying to outrich the rich. Okay? Poor, you're never going to get rich by working. Middle class, you're never going to get rich by working. All right? Marginalized, you're never going to get rich by working. Full-time working, homeless, you're never going to get rich by work. You have to find other skills. The average millionaire has 7 income streams. The average worker has 1. But you're going to have to decide what skills are you going to need that is not only going to that are not going to just be a part of your repertoire, but they also have to complement your repertoire. Okay? Widespread financial illiteracy continues to perpetuate economic vulnerability. That's crazy. Widespread financial illiteracy. That means that the United States of America has not emphasized at all any part of making sure that we were financially literate. And as time went on, that has diminished more and more and more and more and more. I am an educator for the last 10 years. I've been in the Yonkers public school system. Enjoy it immensely. I believe that our greatest asset are our marginalized kids in communities of color. Our greatest assets, because I've seen them for the last 10 years, from K all the way up to 12, and now I'm actually able to work with the college ones or heading towards the higher academia stage. And I'm pleased to tell you, these individuals are hungry. These individuals know exactly what they want. They're using technology, not always to the best, but I have to give them one thing, and I have to tell them that youth that they have, knowing that they want more and they're seeking more. And I'm very pleased to say that I'm here to assist the youth of color in marginalized communities in whatever manner, fashion that I can. So please understand, we are going to do what we need to do to make sure not just our youth have, but also their parents have, and also their grandparents have, and also their great grandparents have, and also their aunties and uncles have, and also their neighbors have. Marginalized communities will no longer be the burden bearers of those who don't deem that they're worthy. Not only are you worthy, you are worth every ounce of what we're going to be pouring into these communities as we move through 2025. And I am super excited about what the trajectory has for those who want this. Make that time, folks. That's going to be our new hashtag. Make time. All right, governance, not government, is the root issue to betrayal and neglect. Not government. Government, and I, as a honorably discharged veteran Army, understand fully what it is when you take that oath. You go do the job. That's what it is. You don't service your own needs. You don't take away from, you add to. That's why you're called a civil servant. That's why you're someone who serves the people. And if you can't serve the people, then there's no reason for you to be in a service industry like the government. Because the government is not about making a profit. The government is about serving its citizens, protecting us and serving us in a manner in which it's going to broaden all of our lives. So we have to stop, and we have to make sure that we understand it's not government, it's governance. The individuals, an individual who's getting ready to take that office, who has 91 felonies. Okay, I think the number just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't recall the last time, and please help me out, social media and anyone else out there. Have we ever had a felon for a president before, or a commander in chief? I don't even want to put that name in front of or behind who that individual is, but have we ever had a criminal as a commander in chief? I don't think so. at least in the 50 years or 40 years that I've been available and had the opportunity to vote. Political leaders have abandoned their duties, prioritizing personal agendas over public trust. Have you seen the cabinet that is getting ready to after the 20th? Have you seen a lot of these individuals, loyalists and anarchists? I know not every administration has had the best, but they have always claimed that they were attempting to put in the best. And I have to honestly say, of all the administrations, Democrats have shown that they can orchestrate, but unfortunately they can't message. And Republicans have already shown us their card. They have shown us their full hand, shown us everything. They've shown us what color they are. There's no need for us to go back to that crayon box trying to get out another crayon or another color. They have laid it all out on the table. They have told us that they will not do anything for the marginalized. They've already made it clear and abundantly clear. Democrats have a lot of work to do to regain. But as I said, political leaders, we're watching you. Government, we're watching you. Governance, we're going to hope that you do your part. But there you have it, folks. Those 5 things. $1 trillion generational wealth is in this country. Decades of greed has harmed us like crazy. Widespread financial illiteracy. Widespread. Governance, not government, and political leaders who have just failed to do their part. This is how we change that. All right, so we're going to be leveling the playing field, folks. Financial literacy, the power of transform. All right, the transform. The power to transform by leveling the playing field. And to do that, we're going to need some opportunities. And one of those biggest opportunities that we're going to be focusing on is financial literacy. All right. Financial literacy, making sure that we are as literate as we possibly can to navigate these spaces. And trust me when I tell you, it is not hard. It is actually really easy. It is really, really easy to become financially literate. You just got to want it. And once you understand that you want it, then you have to stay consistent. You're dealing with algorithms and you're dealing with AI. And do you think those algorithms and AIs are not going to stay consistent? You're absolutely right. They're going to stay consistent. It's now your turn. All right. So financial literacy is the greatest equalizer in a world of systemic exploitation. All right. Systemic exploitation. You haven't just been duped, fooled, taken advantage of. You have been literally sold a hand or given a hand that just did not do what it was supposed to do. Okay? From the household to the academic facilities to your employer to the governance or the government that is supposed to protect us and secure us. You have not been given the tools, the resources that you need, and I'm talking about 70% of the population. But we are going to change that. 2025 is a course correction, folks, not a New Year's resolution. I want everybody to do not make a New Year's resolution and focus on making a course correction. The mastery of credit, investment strategies, and resources allocations is the key to upwards mobility. Let's try that one more time. Mastery of credit, understanding how that credit works. It is a building tool. And when you are building, guess what you're doing? You're creating the platform that you need to continue generating after you have built. All right. Investment strategies. Do we have any investment strategies? Does the marginalized, do the working poor, do the full-time working homeless, do the ever-eroding middle class, do you have investment strategies? Do you even know what investment strategies are? You should. If you're in your 20s, you should. If you're in your 30s, you most definitely should. If you're in your 40s, I don't know why you don't. And if you're in your 50s, you've been doing something clearly wrong. But you got to figure that out, that investment strategy. That's what we are here to do. And resources, allocations is the key to upwards mobility. How are you using these resources to make sure that you are on a upwards trajectory when it comes to your financial knowledge? The more you understand, the more you grow. We have tools, we have resources, we have so much available, but unfortunately, those of you who want it don't know where to go. Those of us who want to make sure that you have it can't seem to get you all in the same space. So we're going to attempt to do even more creative things than we did last year. So I'm super, as I said, I'm super excited about 2025 and how I'm going to be able to help as many people as they want. Awareness of systemic traps is the first step towards breaking free. You got to know you're in a trap. You got to know you're in a trap. 2024 should have been more than enough opportunity to make individuals realize. And for me, it took 10 years, not for me to realize, but for me to understand, wow, I now knew that it wasn't going to be no quick fix to helping individuals. I now understand that no matter what I do, there's still going to always be barriers. There's still going to always be some form of hindrances that are going to be preventing us from doing the things that we know we should be doing. And our job now moving forward, as I said, is to make sure that we understand the opportunities that are going to be presented. Our job is to make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing. Nothing more. 2025 is about actions. All right, so empowerment brings with knowledge. Time is the most critical investment you'll ever make. So I'm telling you now, folks, it's about making the time. All right, I'm gonna say that one more time. It's about making the time. It's not about finding it. It's not about exploring it. It's not about researching it. It's about making the time. Because if you've spent the last 10 years and your situation has not improved, then it's now our job to make sure that you understand what you have to do moving forward. And if you understand what you have to do moving forward, there's always going to be someone here to help guide you along this process. There's always going to be someone. 2025 is our year, folks. It is our year. You want to break free from all the hardships, from all of the denials, from all of the I can't believes, from all of the whatever it is that prevented you from, well, 2025 is going to be that year. And it's up to you. Because I'm here and I'm going to continue to do what I need to do, but I'm going to grow this industry. And I'm going to do it in multiple ways. For-profit, academia, nonprofit. For-profit, academia, nonprofit. I'm going to use my resources. I'm going to look for investors. I'm going to look for philanthropists. I'm going to look for those who are like-minded individuals that understand what I understand about our greatest asset, which are our marginalized communities and those youth of color. And we're going to align that with one of our greatest resources, which is day trading. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, folks, think what you want. Believe what you want. If you wanted to be a good baseball player, you had to go out and put those skills together. You want to be a good hockey player, skills. Basketball player, skills. No matter what you do, it's about skills. Day trading is nothing different than skills. Once you get good at it, we want you to master it. Once you master it, then what's there next to do? But make that money. 7 income streams. 7 income streams. Let me say it one more time. 7 income streams. The average millionaire has 7 income streams, folks. All right, so the blueprint for change. 3 pillars for financial freedom. 3 pillars, that's all we need. 3 pillars for financial freedom. All right, so here they are. Leverage credit recovery. There's one. Leverage credit recovery. There's your first pillar to financial freedom: leverage credit recovery. Demystifying credit, repair your score, and unlock financial power. All right? Utilizing day trading as a gateway to wealth building. So we've taken the credit piece, which we know every single soul. And I've heard some individuals out there, oh, I don't use credit, I don't this, and I don't that. Hey, I'm not here to go back and forth with you as to what you use. But what I'm here to explain to you is that credit is a building tool. Okay? It is a building tool, and it comes with responsibilities and accountability. And we're responsible for our portion, but we're definitely going to hold accountable those who are reporting it, those who are using it, and those who are manipulating it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's what our job is. But we got to get to that point, and you have to understand. Here's the first pillar: leverage credit recovery. Here's our second pillar: Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs. For our youth, our marginalized communities, as I've said, our greatest asset. Youth of color in marginalized communities. 10 years of watching youth of color in marginalized communities has only empowered me even that much more. It has only gave me that much more resolve to now see, oh my goodness, can you imagine if we had the same understanding 10 years ago? But it took time to get to this level, and I'm so happy that it took the time to get here. But there's our second pillar: equipped underserved youth with the tools to innovate and create wealth. They're hungry, they're smart, they're talented, they're bright, they're brilliant, they're beautiful, they're wonderful. These are individuals, these are little people. Given the understanding, they'll take it to that next level. And giving them that proper understanding. That's what this is all about. All right. So we're going to transform ideas into businesses, fostering generational prosperity. That's it. Nothing more. We're going to make sure that our youth of color in marginalized communities have what they need. We're going to take care of their parents, and we're going to also take care of them as well with the, as I said, leverage credit recovery. So number 3, and this is where it ties it all in: Riverside High School Financial Literacy Club. And I want to thank Riverside High School of Yonkers, New York, for giving us that opportunity to bring this into the most important stage of our existence, which is the preparatory stage, that academia. Starting us off early, young, giving them the tools that they need early and young. Don't let them get out there into the world and not have a clue, and then they find themselves in debt. We're not going to do that. We're changing. We're course correcting. We're going to make sure that our kids know prior to leaving the household. And this is real world financial education for lasting independence. Hands-on training in budgeting, credit, and investing. Oh, there's a couple of more components that we haven't listed on there, but we're going to do what we need to. But these are the 3 pillars that I'm talking about, that I'm referring to. All right, these 3 pillars for us to do what we need to do right here in Yonkers, and then venture out into neighboring communities. We want to definitely address this with all of our local schools. So we want to be definitely having a sit down with the Board of Education, with community groups, with community directors from other nonprofits, with employers, with churches, you name it. Our job this year and the entire year is to make sure that we uplift as many marginalized communities as possible. And I'm going to need your help. I'm going to need all of your help to do this. All right, so credit recovery. What is credit recovery? What is it? I know in school here in Yonkers, we all know credit recovery. For those who may not have sufficiently met the academia requirements, may have to go back and get credit recovery. And that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But in the world of what we're doing is we want to help you with recovering from some of those hardships that credit may have put in your pathway. All right. So credit, your key to financial mobility. Credit is a building tool. All right. It is a building tool. Use it properly and it will build. use it irresponsibly, and you already know the outcome. So our job is not to, again, harp on what has happened. Our job is to get you to understand that you can change the trajectory of what has happened. You can. But you got to understand your rights. You have to understand the laws. You have to understand the things that you may have subjected yourself to, but nevertheless, there are still laws that guide the overall process. And you might have put yourself in harm's way, but there might be other factors that are keeping you in harm's way. And that's where we come in to make sure that you are no longer the recipient of bad information. So you're going to learn the mechanisms of credit and repair your credit, your financial standing. We're going to escape the cycle of predatory lending and exploitation. We're going to explore day trading as an additional income stream. Oh, yes. Credit, day trading, 2 additional income streams. Oh, there comes these other things too called diversifying. All right. So we got to get it in your hands first. Okay. We got to get it in your hands first. Once we have it in your hands, then we're going to help you with managing it properly. Once we have it in your hands and you're managing it properly, then we're going to diversify. Then we're going to look at other opportunities that might be out there to help you with making sure that everything is going accordingly. Credit is a rocket ship with a bump or two here and there. But for the most part, you should always be on an upward trajectory. And our job in 2025 is to make sure that that always happens. Always happens. All right, we're going to leverage credits strategically to create sustainable wealth. Yes, we're going to put multiple individuals together within a household to make sure that everybody in that household's credit is above par. So when they get ready to go out there and get that car, get that home, whatever it is that their soul desires, that they're able to do it. This is going to be a family function that's going to allow for individuals and family. You got to come together. You got to come together. You got to put aside all of the differences. And this is where we come in as well, helping you with sitting down and making sure that, because Tommy, Sally, Mary, Jane, Jim, whomever did this back in old dark 30 time frame. No, that's done and over with. We're going to reconcile and we're going to move in a manner in which it helps build our communities. Just that simple. Just that simple. So take control of your story. Rewrite your financial destiny. This is on you to rewrite your financial destiny. All right, we're going to empower it. We're going to definitely be empowering our youth to do this. It's going to require Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs a movement for the future, a movement to move our youth in a direction that past generations have not been focusing on, making sure that our youth understand their value, knowing their worth at 6, knowing their worth at 12, knowing their worth at 18, knowing their worth at 21, making sure that our kids understand the importance of money, how it works in our communities. We don't have to keep going out spending. I know we like stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to tell you we need to start pouring more of that emphasis into loving and appreciating stock. All right? And we'll be talking more about that as time goes on. But we are definitely going to be focusing on making sure that we continue to keep empowering our youth. And to do that, here's some of the ideas that we've come up with. Provide marginalized youth with mentorships, resources, and guidance. Man, just that alone is an amazing statement just on its own. We occupied a space here in Yonkers at 86 Main Street, and the location is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. The view is breathtaking. The accommodations are, and they have been exceptional. I can't thank Hudson Hub enough for the opportunity to be part of this introduction to Yonkers with this one of its kind shared location spaces. And I'm here to tell you, it's a beautiful thing when clients come in, when students come in, and they really see, wow, they're taking this serious. Well, I'm here to tell you, folks, we're taking it more than just serious. We are taking it more than just serious. We want to make sure that everybody who's listening and those who will be listening later on understand the seriousness behind what 2024-25 could mean for you. We already know what it means for us. We're just making sure that we're in alignment to make sure that you understand what it means for you as well. We're going to inspire leaderships and entrepreneurial spirits to drive local economies. Yes, our money in marginalized communities, and primarily the African-American community, stays in our community hours. Other ethnic groups, it stays in their days. So just think about that for a minute. If it stayed in our community longer than hours, that probably would mean more people would have access to it. But since it doesn't, that means less people have access to it. We're going to focus on build businesses that uplift communities and create lasting wealth. That's why it's important that your employer understands the importance of why they need to make sure that they have financially literate employees. And if they themselves do not feel the need to invest in that, well, then reach out to us. You have a charitable piece of your entity that you can say, hey, you know what, Yonkers Young Entrepreneurs, we want to bring you on. We're going to fund you. We're going to give you what you need to be able to make sure that all of our employees are financially literate. That's what our goal is. We don't just want to do that for one business. We want to do this for all of the businesses. So if you're looking for a willing participant, a partner in making sure that your employees are financially literate, well, keep us at the forefront as you open up 2025. So we're going to turn challenges into opportunities for self-sufficiency. We know that you have had some problems in the past. We know this. We know that you have been neglected. But this will stop. It will cease. It will be no more, because we cannot continue to allow for the rich to continue to keep getting richer and richer and richer and richer and richer off whose hard work. Okay, 70% of the population is making the 30% richer than they can possibly ever be. All right, so we're going to be investing in our students. Yes, we are. We're going to be pouring wealth, knowledge, understanding into our students, making sure that our students have not just the top-notch academics, but also the top-notch understanding of how money works. Financial literacy. You need to become financially literate. Once you do, I'm telling you, no matter what your age, students can be of all ages. It doesn't matter. But we're going to be investing in all of our students. Here's some of the reasons. Oh, well, as I told you, financial literacy, the Riverside Financial Literacy Club, future-proofing education. When that popped up, I was thrown back by that, because it really just honed in on, wow, we're going to be doing something that's going to protect those who are always seen as our most vulnerable. Those who haven't quite figured out their worth, where we're going to show you what you are worth, because you've already shown us that you are worthy. All right. So we're going to be doing our pieces. And to make that happen, here's some of the things that we're going to have to do. We're going to have to incorporate essential financial skills into the education system. It's not hard to do. It's actually pretty easy. I've been doing it all year, or shall I say I've been doing it all last year, and I have the opportunity of bringing it back this year. So I'm very, very, as I said, very, very grateful to Riverside High School here in Yonkers for giving me the opportunity to present it to the youth, and just watching the youth just eat it up like Pac-Man. I'm, again, overwhelmed at all of the interest. Now, how do we turn that interest into action? Teaching practical knowledge, budgeting, credit management, and investing. knowing these key principles. Now, the budgeting piece, again, you can budget using allocated understandings like credit cards, secured cards. You can budget by writing things down, making sure that, as we already know, you're not spending more than you're bringing in. There's a variety of different methods that can be taught to individuals to understand how to budget properly. Credit management is just another extension of that budgeting piece. And the investing, you're gonna have to, again, I'm gonna say it one more time, you're going to have to learn how to invest. It's just that simple. You don't invest, you will not be where you want to be. All right. We like stuff. We need to start loving stock. And we're going to redefine education to prepare students for real world success. That's it. Nothing more. My students look at me because I talk to them as if they were not just my students, but if they were my kids, as if they were my clients, as if they were, I combine them into a salad that just works. It works. And again, the kids have the utmost respect for Mr. Glover. And it's not because I go out there and I'm blowing the horn and I'm yelling and screaming, or nope, it's because I'm just the way that you see me right now. I'm relaxed, I'm calm, I'm cool. I may have to raise the temperature a little bit to get the importance, but none of my students have ever seen me have a bad day. Why? Because that's not their job. None of my clients have ever seen me have a bad day. Why? Because that's not their job. My job is to give them my best so that they can go out and do their best. And if my best requires me to put off or put to the side whatever it is that I might be doing or have going on in my brain to eliminate myself from giving them my best, then guess what I do? I put that to the side. I prioritize. I manage. I hold myself accountable and I hold myself responsible so that all of my clients, all of my students, anyone who comes within my stratosphere understands, okay, this guy he's about his business. And I'm going to always be about my business. And you, 2025, you're my business. All right. So education must evolve or risk. Financial literacy is non-negotiable. All right. It's got to. Financial literacy is non-negotiable. So we got 5 roads that we can take to make sure that we get there. So we got our 3 pillars. Now we got 5 roads that we can take. And to make sure that we are navigating these spaces as eloquently as possible, well, let's take a look into those 5 roads. All right, so we got to understand how money works. Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse, Anaj Enterprise, and Access Wealth Nation here on Soul City. Again, Dr. Yana B. Woodhouse. Tune into her shows on Thursdays, right here on this very same network, very same time frame. She talks about this category all the time, this road, all the time, how money works. If you don't know how money works, money isn't working hard enough for you. It's just that simple. You need to know and understand how money works, period. Number 2, and there's some more components to each one of these roads. Number 2, value time as your most precious resource. Make time. Ladies and gentlemen, please stop attempting to find. Make time. You have to make and be committed, because those bill collectors, because those employers, because every entity out there that you're a part of in some degree, believe me when I tell you, they're making sure that those algorithms and those AIs are doing what they need those businesses to do. So you're going to have to equally make the time for yourself. You have a problem with making time? Well, this is where we come in again to be able to help you with managing your time more effectively. I've helped so many of my students this year already. I got 135 students, and a good 80% of them have come to me and said, thank you for helping me with navigating time. Number 3, recognize systemic barriers and learn to overcome them. If you know you got a spending habit, you better find a way to stop spending. It's not that hard. I can help you with that. If you have difficulties with being so generous, I can help you with that. Giving. That was my biggest flaw too. Giving, being the giver. 2025, I'm not stopping with the giving, but what I am doing is I'm going to make sure that my resources are being given to those who understand the importance of doing versus just receiving. Oh yeah, there's components to each one of these roads, folks. Each one of these roads has its own separate components that will be followed. Number 4, master credit as a tool for growth and opportunity. And I know that credit keeps popping up because, as I said before, this was a show that we talked about credit. It was a show that we always honed in on making sure you understood the 5 rules of credit or the 5 principles of how credit worked, making sure that you were checking to see that there were no derogatory marks on your credit, making sure that if there were, or if you found yourself in a situation where you're being sued, how to respond accordingly so it doesn't turn into a wage garnishment. I'm still going to always make that a part of our repertoire, but we're now honing in on a larger picture, and it's that financial literacy picture. But all of those other pieces, they will be identified for those who may find themselves compromised already, or will be doing what they need to be doing to prevent that from happening. There we are. All right, so you got to master that credit as a tool for growth and opportunity. And number 5, reflect on your journey and adapt your strategies for success. Course corrections, folks. Course corrections, making those necessary adjustments. All right, you can't just keep running full speed. You're going to eventually get tired. Yes, basketball, football, soccer, again, these sports require skills, and these skills also require that you do what? Make some adjustments here and there. All right? Help the team out. Are you a team player? Because I hope you are, because your team is your household. And what you do as the CEO in that household will tell whether or not your entity stays solvent or it goes bankrupt. But there's your 5 roads, folks. 5 roads, easy. And as I told you before, easy. The majority of what we're doing here is easy. Easy. Our call to action, your journey begins with a single step, and I'm hoping that you take it today. Ladies and gentlemen, I still can't believe that this went that fast. This was one of the fastest hours that I can honestly say. So I'm hoping that as we are wrapping this up and you're taking in this brand new situation, which is 2025, and we're wrapping up 2024, I hope that you have enjoyed the content that was being presented, because it's yours. It's yours for you to have. Those of you who want it, let me know. All right, the choice is ahead. 2025 awaits. Which path will you take? A future of wealth and stability, or continued uncertainty? The power to change your financial lives within your hands. They're within your hands. And now is the time to collaborate, innovate, and act. So the final call, ladies and gentlemen, the moment is now. Own your future. Together, we can redefine what financial freedom looks like. America's strength lies in the resilience of its people, and the tools are here. The opportunity is now before 2025 arrives. So I'm hoping that as you get ready to celebrate and bring in the new year, I'm hoping that you have found everything that you needed as we close 2024 to start off a brand new 2025. So what say you, America? Your future is in your hands. So before we go, we want to make sure that you understand that we are truly grateful for you. We are truly grateful to be able to have this opportunity to do what we do. Again, as I said before, my name is Tyrone Glover, and I am the Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. And for those of you who are wanting to contact us, our contact information is phone number 805-428-9424. Our email is leveragecreditrecovery@gmail.com. And we have this new thing called Linktree. We are in the process of building out 3 new websites, all right, which is our website currently, which is Linktree, linktr.ee/leveragecreditrecovery.com. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you all immensely. I can't thank you enough for, as I always say, giving us the opportunity to do what we do best, which is help you find peace, find solace, find stability, find independence within your financial household to be able to prosper in the manner in which we were designed to do. Okay, all this manipulation, deception, corruption, greed, all of what has been transpiring is now done. If you want to continue down the same pathway as you did in 2024, and obviously before then, by all means, go right ahead. But if you are serious about steps towards making your life that much more profitable, that much more prosperous, that which is going to be much more financially independent, well, I'm hoping that you reach out to us in 2025. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me the time. My name is Tyrone Glover, Dress Down CEO of Leverage Credit Recovery. And as always, America, be safe.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.